Welcome back to StoneBlock, and it's time to start building up our AE system. We've got a few bits and pieces done. Let me just grab the rest of the stuff out of there. Don't need the crystal growth accelerator. I will need the I will need the cable though. And yeah, I'll leave that there for now. Okay, so what was I thinking? Down here, I've dug a new room. That new room is just through here, and I actually don't want that light source there. I'd like the ethereal flare lantern to actually do that for us. I've created a new room because I'm thinking about multi-level room here for our AE system. And now you might think, you know, having your controller like this is going to work perfectly well, and it will. Oh, there it goes. So, yeah, it will work well, but you're going to need to connect to all sides of this block. So if you want to build it in a separate room, that may actually do a better job. And because I want stuff in this room, then that sort of leads me to thinking about, well, we should probably put it in a room below us. So, got a little room. For now, we can just put it down here and start expanding out down here whenever we need to. Okay, that's that sorted. Okay, now make sure that your area that you're keeping your applied energetic system in is chunk loaded. So over here, make sure it's in your claimed area and that you chunk load it. That's absolutely fine. And then we're also going to just make it, let's get ourselves so that we can access this other floor. So much stuff that I don't actually want. Let me just get rid of you. Is there anything else in here? Bone meal? Do I have a dedicated bone meal chest? No, but I'll just put it in there for now. As you can see, lots of stuff still dropping. I really don't need to change that to a custom farm. It is more than fast enough for what I need. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I want most of 4 stacks of string. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get us some wool. The wool, along with ender pearls in the middle, makes elevator blocks, and I'll just make a couple more. Wow, am I really sure? Where did that... Ah, there it is. Wasn't that before? I have. Good. Oh! There we go. So I should just bounce a little bit more. There we go. With 16, I can make 2 more blocks. It gives me 10 elevator blocks. Oh! Forget about this farm. I should put walls around the middle section. It's just a nice decorative sort of fountain feature at the moment. And in here you'll see there's a hole just behind where we placed our ME controller. And in here we're just going to put down elevator blocks. If you don't know what they are, you're about to find out. Hopefully they will work like this. Yep, if I jump and press shift to go down, obviously, then I can go up and down. I normally put 3 by 3. Well, I now put 3 down 3 by 3 because if you put down 1 by 1, I tend to always miss the actual target here. So I decided to switch the side our elevators were on, just so that this is closer to the rest of the base. And also note that you can actually go through blocks as long as, I think there's a few block limit, but you can have to put a ceiling in place anyway. And I just put a light just above that just to make sure, because we moved everything down a little bit. Just so I have room for cabling. You see this ceiling is 3 deep now, not 1 deep. Moved everything down a little bit. And otherwise we have our controller here. So from this we need to then sort of branch out and to do all the kinds of stuff we want to. For now I'm just going to use the underneath of this as the energy accepting area. Let's just actually dig down a few. And it doesn't really much matter where we put this, so let's just put in some cable. Yeah, don't even need the smart cable, just a regular cable should be fine. Whoops. Come out to my inventory. Ah, there it is. And that will then accept energy from wherever. Speaking of energy from wherever, actually I do need to just want to make sure this is lit adequately down there, so when I seal this off, that lantern up there may still try and light up down here. In fact, it was trying while I was building the elevators, but just in case, put a little light down there, and fine. And we'll build that back up in a minute. Now we need to get some power over there, so we're going to get our flux network going, so I'm going to need to craft some more of that. This base is just turning into like some kind of farm. I really want to start thinking about bringing cows and sheep and stuff like that in pens and starting to harvest them, but we'll get to that soon enough. So we want a flux point, is it called? Flux point? Removing energy, yes. So we need flux cores, which needs these. We want, oops, that's too many. Never mind. And let's craft a couple of flux points because we can always reuse them. Okay, and that should give us basically connection to the network. And then actually, while I'm here, what I'm going to do is just go and grab some more string. Do I have enough inventory space? I guess I do. What I can hear is spiders in there. We'll just put some other stuff away. Let's grab 4 stacks of string again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna make some wool because we're going to turn this this cable. Where is it? ME glass cable. Let's turn that into covered cable, and then from there into smart cable. Smart cables lets us see the channels that we're occupying in applied logistics. If you don't know what that is, essentially each device, well, most devices take up a channel, and cable, like this kind of cable, and the smart cable can only have a certain number of devices on the cable, on that length of cable, if you like. Now there's tricks, there's lots of other stuff that we're going to get to much later, but to get around that, but for now, just simplistically think 8 devices per cable. And there's an upper tier of cable that can handle many more devices than that, but don't worry, yeah, you won't be limited by cables. It's almost limited by complexity and your ability to track it all in your head. Where was I? Yes, we need some glowstone and a little bit of glowstone and a little bit of redstone. I'll just take all the redstone then, shall I? Let's just take, yeah, 16 will do. Let me just put this glowstone back. And for cover cable or smart cable, I think it's just wool. Yep, Fluix covered cable. And then if we just do that and combine it shapelessly, we get smart cable. Oh, did I just run out by 1 piece? Oh, that's annoying. Let's not do that. I don't want to cover cable. In fact, there's almost no... I don't think there's any reason to actually have it. We just want the smart cable. Okay, and then we'll hook everything up with that. Yes. Still got to get rid of those evolved endermen. But they're not too bad as long as you don't look at them. So, you know, no problem there. And then we'll move our spawn point to in here as well and eventually consider that all part of the base. The kind of sort of terrible place that you begin. It's sort of like the cave that you start out in regular Minecraft. So there we got a flux point. Let's select the network, our battery power network. And it's on. Okay, good. And I'm just going to fill in that. Look at that. Magic. Now, from here, just because we're going to be doing a lot of our crafting upwards, I'm just going to send a cable like that. As you can see, this doesn't count as a device. That, well, in fact, if you don't know what the smart cable is, then yeah. Basically, the channels will start to show up in this black band. It'll fill up to 8 different colored bands. Well, 2 different colors, but 8 bands alternating. And depending on what we attach to it. So up here is where the cable is going. And if we have something in the middle here, what we probably want is a few things. Maybe to get started, I'm just going to put my ME drive here. Yep, don't need anything more special than that. And I'm also going to want a crafting terminal and other bits and pieces. So let's take a look at a crafting terminal. It's got lots of stuff we should already have, if I remember rightly. So ME terminal, any crafting table really in a calculation processor. So let me just go and make a few of those. Ooh, speaking of calculation processors, I did get a good piece of advice from someone in the comments who was saying that, yeah, I need to turn off my magnetism ring. Was saying that basically you can smelt nether quartz handily. That's what we already have on farm with our mega chicken roost over there. You can use nether quartz and you can just smelt it. and you get silicon. So that's exactly what I did. And I've got some silicon. So I then need to put that through. Again, we're going to need redstone to put that through our, tiny little setup for inscribers. We are going to move those over into our AE2 side of things, but for now, if I just grab my silicon, hopefully you are acceptable. And I need my presses, but I'll do that off camera. So let me just craft a few presses and we'll get going. Oh, well, craft a few processors, that is. Now, if you remember, we needed to make pure flux crystals last episode. Now we need to make essentially pure, put that away, pure Certus quartz crystals. And to do that, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pulverize it. Pulverization, let's just have a look here. We need it for the calculation processes, I think. Yep, pure Certus quartz. So for the Certus quartz seeds, we just need some sand and some Certus quartz dust. And this is something we can do again here. Just disable the outputs. And that will get us some sand. We can combine that with Certus quartz dust. And I need a few to get started, but I'll leave the full stack to process. And is that, was that just the recipe? Yep, Certus quartz seed. And we can put that in the enrichment chamber. And that will turn into pure crystals. And there we go. So I think we need one, I think. At least to get started. Calculation. Okay. So let's take that out. Put this in, the calculation press, and off it goes. It'll get converted. There we go. And the silicon, we will just put that in there and put it in with the silicon press. And the two of those together with some redstone. Same thing as before. I'll do it off camera. Okay, with that in hand, we can then go and start making our crafting terminal. So I'm going to need some quartz glass first of all. To make a few batches of it. That's going to use up some of our Certus quartz dust, but that's not a great deal of a problem. Plenty more of that where that came from. We're going to need the illuminated panel first of all. So if we make that, why didn't you just should have created the recipe. Move items? No? Okay, then I'll do it manually. 3 quartz glass. What was the rest of it? Whoops. Illuminated panel. Glowstone, redstone, and iron. I should already have that in the system. Oh, there it is. It was just lagged. Okay, fair enough. Let's take that back. Yep, we can craft illuminated panels. Illuminated panels, we need a formation core and annihilation core. So formation core is this. You can only craft them in 2 at a time, unfortunately, but annihilation core, very much the same kind of thing. And then, hopefully, that gets us a crafting panel. Terminal. Although it can't insert anything in my inventory just yet, so let's get rid of bits and pieces. Bright illuminated panel it needs. Okay, that's fine. It should be able to just take a regular one though. Yeah, it can just take a regular one. I still have override the recipe. That's the downside with modded Minecraft. That it cycles through the things that you actually need, and you can use an entirely different one, and you can't just shift click and it give you that. But okay, it's fine. We can cope with it. I'm just gonna need a little bit of wood, and in fact, we can just craft the crafting station. I'm just gonna do it manually with planks. Sometimes to wait for it to cycle through stuff, it's not terribly useful. Come on, give the planks back. There we go. 1 crafting station, 1 terminal, and 1 calculation processor. Gets me an ME crafting terminal. Yep. Get the achievement, a much bigger table. So the ME crafting terminal is pretty much the hub of your entire thing until you get to the wireless version. But that's, well, in fact, we can probably get to the wireless version fairly soon, I would have thought, because we got those rewards. But I'm not assuming that you got any particular rewards, which is why I'm just going to use this. So, ME crafting terminal. And you can see already, here's the display of the smart cable. So 1 device on this section. Then this ME drive, I moved it around to the side, adds an extra device here. So then 2 devices are on this section. Hopefully that's very straightforward for you guys to do. Now, if I right click on this, first of all, it's a nice interface. I love this interface, but there's nothing in it, and nor can we put anything in it because it's got no storage. So we are going to need to create some cells, and that's where we have to go back to our other system to create some cells, and then we can start populating the system. And I keep on picking that up every time I go through here. Yeah, go away. At least for now. Okay, so crafting cells then. Now to make cells, we need to make a fair bunch of different pieces, and the largest problem with that is is almost always the processors until you set them up and automate them. Now we haven't got anything for that just yet, so I made an advanced Inscriber. So it just takes a default Inscriber with a couple of processors and bits and pieces you already know about, and let's put that on there. So you'll see it has the ability to take power, but it only takes it from the AE network. You can't get it auto-converting stuff here. So, will it let me store all of these here? No, maybe not. Just maybe the silicon press, and you can put a whole stack in at once. So that is going to start converting over our silicon. And that will continue to work. Now, of course, you can then have one of each of these for each press, but given that we can do a stack and just leave it, then at least at the moment, I don't need to worry about automating them too much, at least until we get to the auto crafting network and stuff like that, that we're not going to worry about straight away. It also doesn't take a channel, so that's quite nice. I am going to then need to make the cells. Now, what do we need for the cells? We're going to aim for 4K cells to start off with, and they need redstone, iron, quartz glass, as we've done before, and processors. So for each 4K cell, we're going to need 1 calculation processor and 3 logic processors. So the logic processors are the gold ones, and the calculation ones are the pure Certus quartz. So I've got 5 pure Certus quartz here, and that's more than enough for now. Calculation, yeah, and then we can just drop all of that in there. And that will make us enough for 5 4K cells. And I've got a gold here to make the rest. I just need some redstone. I'll go and grab that off camera. And of course we can still use this as a regular crafting table, so we can make 3 of the 1K storage components, which will make us one of the 4K ones. Do we have enough items though, however? A 4K, we need the 4K storage component, some iron ingots. Okay, so we need the storage components, and I can't remove stuff out of my inventory because we have no storage space available in here. 1 second, let me just get rid of some stuff. Temporarily, you can both go away. Really, I need to drag the stuff out of here. Fine. We will get that fairly soon. We'll be able to get rid of it again. 4K storage cell. There we go. That recipe we should have. And then we can then make the 4K storage cell. I just need 3 pieces of iron, which I don't have. Let's do a run for that. Oh. Are they running for me? No, they're not running for me. Okay, they're not aggroed. Good. We have a sword anyway, so that's not really a problem. Just 3 iron. 3 measly little iron. Let's just take the rest of that stack with us, because we're going to make more of these, just not necessarily straight away. And that will then get us a functioning system, which we can use to start putting stuff into. Now, the problem with the storage cells is not so much that they have limited amounts of storage of the number of items, it's usually the types of items when you start your system up, because even though a 4K storage cell, and in fact we haven't really explained what these have, you can see we have a certain number of bytes. So the items that you put in there corresponding to bytes, and there's a number of types, and it's the types that you tend to run out of. So for example, only 63 types of items, i.e. only 63 different things that I have in my inventory, can go in that. So yeah, that's why you're probably going to need more than one of these to start off with. Whoops. There we go. Pop that in, and we should now have storage available. Oh, that's so nice. Sort by number of items is generally fine. Sort order, auto search, synchronized standard, maybe not. If I just remove this out of here, there's quite a lot of different stuff in here right now. Okay, fine. So if I just start typing here, it's going to be fine, but it's not going to also search in JEI. Let me try and find the best mode here. And maybe people want to comment below if you like a particular mode. Yeah, we can't really change that at the moment. That's just my UI size. So yeah, just whether we want to search is fine. I do want a synchronized setup. So if I just type that, let's go for a synchronized auto. Yeah, that seems fine. So if I type cell, yeah, that's all available. So if we just drop all of our stuff in here now, all the bits and pieces we've been gathering. Yep, lots of stuff here. And our inventory looks quite clean again all of a sudden. And we should be able to craft more. So then, if we want to get a cell and craft another storage cell, another 4K, we need some 1K. Yep, we've got that. I can grab all the components from here. It'll just make as many of these that we have. That's 3. Let's get the cell again. And that's there. Ish. Storage cell. Am I out of quartz glass? Really? I thought I had more. Okay, guess I'm making more quartz glass. Do we have anything enough in there for that? Maybe quartz glass. Maybe we do. Yep. Okay. Now we can make a cell. One of you. And one of you. Another 4K cell. So now we have 128 types. And we can continue doing that to fill our ME drive and start to fill the network. These green icons will go, well, lights will change to amber and red depending whether you fill types or fill the capacity of the drives. Of course, we're nowhere near that yet. So we then need to think about importing stuff in. Generally speaking, that's as easy as crafting an import bus, and we probably want the upgrades at some point for speed. But if we just grab, let's just see, a regular import bus, we've already got an annihilation core. It's only the sticky piston we're going to need. And unfortunately, this system does not have the ability to create sticky pistons. We don't have any of the stuff for that in that system. So I will just make a few sticky pistons and take them over there. Let's, well, hopefully I've got the stuff over here. It does need a import bus, sticky piston. Do I have enough stuff? No, you're missing both pistons and the slime balls, but that should be okay. Okay, so if I craft 6 of those, we will have slime balls from our little tree farm we've got over here. So over here, we'll get rid of it permanently somehow. Any of these should do. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Sticky pistons. Oh, still a mini sheep? No, regular size sheep. It's just energized. And a rooster. I may just kill the animals. Fine. Import. Import bus. And craft. And we should have it. This takes up another device, but we're going to have more than enough. The import bus basically lets us connect stuff to it, and it'll start dragging it into the system. So that's a good point to talk about cards, or rather the different kinds of cards you can make. Acceleration cards and capacity cards are probably the most useful. Capacity meaning it can just pull in 9 items. Well, you actually need 2 levels, I think. One level takes you to an extra 4 items. The second level takes you to all 9 items. And then the acceleration card just makes it much faster. Okay. So let's take a look at the acceleration card. This usually needs diamonds, I think. So it needs an advanced card. Yeah, diamonds and calculation processors, which in turn are pure Certus quartz. So I'm going to have to make more of that pure Certus quartz, I think, just to make this import process a little bit quicker. All right, so I think I've got everything I need to get started, and we should be okay, I think. Let's just grab that. Okay, so we're going to need some processors. We're going to need the calculation ones, I think. So calculation press and some Certus quartz, that'll start going. We're then going to need the rest. So we need, what is it we need for this? Just the advanced card, I think. Yeah, advanced card. And that makes the acceleration card. So that's just 3 iron, a couple of diamonds, redstone, and those processors. So I'm going to need, just take this out, and we'll just combine those with some redstone, and we'll get the processors. Not sure how many, in fact it tells us here, we can use 2 of these with the fluid import-export. With a regular import-export, we can use 4 of them. So up to 4 of these processors can be used. I've only got enough for 3, but that should be by far more than enough than we actually need. You'll see what I mean shortly. So if I just put this in like this and some iron. Okay, and we only need no, that will actually make us enough. Advanced card, because the advanced card needs to be combined with just flux crystals. And that will make us acceleration cards, of which we can use 4. And we can also put the those other cards in there as well. So card, what was it? Capacity card is just Certus quartz and a basic card. And that still needs calculation processors. So yeah, either way. Don't tempt me. So if we get our cardboard box, I've got a couple with chests attached. And let's see if they work with the import bus as is. Let me just grab you and put the cards in. Okay, and if we change this, pull the cardboard box off. Oops, pull the cardboard box off and take a look inside. Yep, you'll see it's importing. Now that was with just the acceleration cards. If we also wanted to make the capacity cards, it will be next to instant. So yeah, I didn't want to do both of them because yeah, you wanted to see that maybe. There we go. There we go. And you're gone. Okay, so it's as simple as that to import. Just use your cardboard boxes and you will then get a system that has stuff in it. And you'll see we're still just fine, even though we have plenty of stuff starting to pile up. Unfortunately, stuff that doesn't stack counts as a type. So I think this will be different to this, even though they look very similar. It's only stuff that stacks. For example, fluid cows like that, they'll quickly use up types. So when you actually start to fill in your system, do make sure you've got into the bottom that you only have 1 of, and consider whether you even need that in your system, or just put them in a separate chest for now. And that's pretty much it for this episode. We've got a nice functioning, little tiny, but still very, very good AE2 system. And of course, this will be expanded over time. We're only using 3 channels so far. Off camera, I'm going to make, well, between the episodes, I'm going to make more of these advanced inscribers, and then we can use those to just basically automate out our processors. To get started, we don't even need to fully automate them. Just have it so that you can shove a stack in the top in a chest or something and have them automatically produce, because we just have 1, press per inscriber. So we have 4 of them, and then a 5th one. Actually, maybe we should have 7 inscribers. Yeah, because 1 for each of these. And then we need to take the silicon out. And then we may want to have one that just has silicon presses, printed silicon distributed to it. And then it will just insert into the top the various different circuits that we get. So we'll end up with 3 on top, 3 underneath, and then 1 just making silicon and supplying it to the underneath. And then, you don't need to worry about it too much. Just put whatever you want into the top of it, and it will just produce automatically. So that kind of thing seems reasonable. and we'll get to that perhaps next episode, and we'll see how we get on with that. So again, I hope you really enjoyed this one. We have got a fully functioning AE2 system now with storage. That means we can start moving out of this and start thinking about using it for all kinds of different purposes. So feel free to comment below if you've got any questions. Otherwise, as always guys, thanks for watching.